Hello, welcome to video number 4 of my regional election candidacy videos. I just want to start off by saying if you are a candidate, you should be watching all of these videos in their entirety because this is the best source of information because I explain everything and say everything very explicitly. And so if you watch these videos, you should know what you should be doing at this point in the process. But today, well, first of all, sign up for regionals, especially if you're a candidate, sign up for regionals, because if you don't sign up, you can't go, so then you can't run. But also just sign up for regionals. Registration is ending soon, so don't miss it, because there's no late registration. All right. One more thing before I get started is that if you are watching this video for some reason and have not been inducted to the region, please let me know. I'll make a Facebook post about this later, but we just passed a motion saying that at any business meeting we can induct people who request to be inducted into the region. So I'll make a post about that, but yeah. All right, so let's get started. Today we're going to talk about everyone's election materials. The only election materials you are allowed to have at the elections include speech, optional question and answer materials, platform, and mission statement. Those 4 things. And that's it. So I'm going to talk about each one briefly. Speech. Good old candidates will have 5 minutes to speak, and everyone else will have 3 minutes to speak. For their speech, really just use your. This is the times where you want to be inspiring or say something that will set you apart from other people. You don't waste time talking about your qualifications. Use your time wisely, and also practice your speech. That's a huge thing. Practice your speech in the mirror. Practice your speech in front of your parents, other important people. Send your speech to people who might want to read it who aren't in the region because that would be politicking. And yeah, if you have any other questions about speeches, I can certainly answer them. Pretty straightforward. And then next material, question and answer materials. That would include just I brought to both my elections. I just brought a paper folder like this, just a folder, and I stuck some lined notebook paper in there, a little extra, just in case. And then I brought a couple of pens. And when you're asked for question and answer, when you're asked a question, it's supposed to come off the top of your head. But I suggest that you take no more than 20 seconds and just jot down the 3 things that come to your mind about the question, and how you could answer it. But don't take too long because people are waiting to hear you speak. But just to organize your thoughts, write it down very quickly. Or don't do that and improvise. Some people are good at that. All right, platforms. A lot of you guys have been asking about platforms. A platform is one piece of paper. Usually both back and front are used. That gives a summary of your qualifications, which means things that you've done in and outside of BYO, and also your just stuff like goals, ideas, and other things you want to add. Save stuff like inspirational stuff that you want to say for your speech. You could put a quote in there, whatever. But yeah, all right. So, I don't have my briefcase right now because it was misplaced at Spirit and it's now at Sylvie's house. So I don't have my platform because I'm pretty sure I put it in there. So, here's the next best thing. This is Mark Kravitz's platform. He used the 58th Regional Godot, and he used the 57th Regional Sagan. And here's how Mark did it. It's a pretty standard platform. Mine was pretty similar, different layout, but here it is. Notice it's on like harder kind of paper, like almost like an index card. It's called a cardstock. And see at the top of Mark Joseph Kravitz, aspiring for the higher and honorable position of Regional Alpha Godot. And then here this is the front page. He just has his qualifications, and he organized it like this: chapter, regional, international. The bullet points are little olives. Mine were little thing where it said AZA diagonally, kind of nice. But here, this is the squeakiest chair. But here we have you see he bolded certain things, and on the side here there's a key. It says denotes pending, denotes delegate, denotes coordinator. So for, let's say you coordinated Spirit, when you say events attended, usually it's split up by position and then events attended. So he has events attended here and position here. Events attended, and Mark Kravitz coordinated Spirit 2011, so he has a little X right there, which means that he coordinated it. Yeah, and then for chapter, he has Chapter Mora, Chapter Godot. And for Chapter Moran, Chapter Godot, he puts little things that he did, like recruited 12 new members, and then planned programs, and then he also has his awards. All right, backside, we have good goals and ideas. This is where you're trying to be more creative. He split it up by membership, programming, stand up, speak up, communication, and then just regional board responsibilities. So he has little bullet points for things he wants to do in each area. And then at the bottom here, he has a BBYO symbol, and then a little fraternally submitted with undying love to my friends, my family, my chapter, Weapon Kadima, my region, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, and my home in AZA. I remain Aleph Mark Joseph Kravitz, and he signed it himself right here, Mark Kravitz. And yeah, I did that too. It's an optional thing. Looks kind of nice. But yeah, if you have any more questions or if you want to see more platforms, definitely go to the platform database. It's www.fisherplatformdatabase.com. I'll include it in the post. Or at fisherplatformdatabase.weebly.com. It's a really great website. I have a couple people I know run it from Michigan, and yeah, it's a really good resource. All right, so limitations on platforms. Your platform, it says here in the aspiration packet, your platform may be no longer than two sides of one piece of 8x11 white or off-white, so like cream, beige, whatever you want to call it, letter size paper. The platform may only be printed in black, gray, or white ink. And yeah, there's usually a lot of limitations, but be creative. I don't know, fold your platform in an interesting way. Usually the girls do that, but it would, like, I don't know, do something different. Be creative. Yeah. Okay. Here's how platforms work. So, you make your platform as a PDF file. You send it to me by the deadline is, hold on. Deadline is December 12th for platforms to be turned in. Try to turn it in first so that I can give my feedback on it. Like if it's like an illegal platform or whatever, like you didn't follow the rules, I'll tell you so you can redo it. So it'll all be up to standard. Send it to me whenever you want. But by December 12th, and I have to like approve it and stuff, so that's like legal and everything. But yeah, and so you're gonna do that. Then you're gonna go to Kinko's or Staples or whatever printing place you want, or if you want to do it at home, you can, and print out enough for you to say that's definitely more than enough that I need. I printed out like 80 last year. 80. I think I might have printed out 100 the year before. I don't even know. I printed out a lot. But yeah, and then you give it to me on election morning, and then when it's your election, before you come out for your speech, I hand around the platforms, and everybody gets to read it and see them. All right, so thank you for watching up to now. You can turn this off now if you're not a Goodell candidate. I'm gonna explain the mission statement now and show you my mission statement. You can watch if you want, but Goodell candidates, you need to watch this. So the mission statement is when the caucus board is put up so that everybody can view it and see who's running and everything. So are the mission statements. The mission statements are basically just for the purpose of having yet another thing to show like what you want to do with the region, because you're a Goodell candidate. You are running to run the entire region, and so like you need to explain your mission, state your mission. Here's how I organize mine. Oh, it has to be on a white piece of paper, just the front side. It can be whatever font, I don't care. Black, white, or I don't know why you would do white, gray, ink, whatever font, but it has to fit on the one piece of paper. This is not, I just printed this off from my Google Drive. This is not how it actually turned out. The font was a lot more readable so that people can read it when they like come up to the board, because they're not going to be squinting up there. But I just printed this out because the layout wasn't on Google Drive, so I just printed it out the way it was. So yeah, here's how mine was. Says at the top of Sam Dolan mission statement, Pop CSK AZA number 155, aspiring to be your 60th regional Olive Goodell. So my mission statement was all about the chapters. So here I'll just read it. What makes a region successful? The way I see it, in order to understand what makes a region successful, one must go to the region's roots, which are, of course, the chapters. It doesn't matter how good the programming is or how united the Olives in the region are if the chapters aren't doing well enough. As a region, we are doing well. We are still at our peak, as we were last year, but we could do so much better. I firmly believe that before we start working on improving the region, going back to the chapters will put us in a better starting position, making it easier to improve the region. In the past, there have been regional Goodollium who are only focused on the region directly, but as regional Goodell, a top priority is for me is helping the chapters in KIO achieve their goals, propelling them, and in result propelling KIO to success. If elected, this is how I will help each chapter reach their goals. And so then I went into each chapter. I said Drew Corson, and I had like 2 or 3 sentences about what they do well and what they need to do in the next year. And then so I go through on every chapter, even Lexington, and put Pops to the last, and just went through, said to each chapter what they need to do over the next year to make them and then in result the region better. And then at the bottom it says fraternally submitted with undying love for Pops DSK AZA number 155 and the future of KIO AZA. I humbly remain Olive Sam Dolan, aspiring to be your 60th regional Olive Goodell. So yeah, if you have any questions beyond that, it's basically one piece of paper that people can read, glance at. This was a lot more like spread out and readable when it came out of the printer, when the format was right, and make it something that people can just look at it and just instantly get it, because most people will be looking at it for like less than a minute. So you want to like people go through, see this, go through, say, oh, he lists out each chapter, probably find their chapter, see what they need to do, and say, oh, he has this in mind for our chapter. That'll make the region better. I want success for my chapter, so I'm going to elect him. Or whatever is probably what I was hoping people would think. So, yeah, if you have any questions beyond that, I'm here to help. But, yeah, your mission statements are due, let me see, I think December 9th. Yes, Tuesday, December 9th, due on that day or before. And, yeah, okay. Ask me if you have more questions. Thank you. Love you. Goodbye.